Let's get straight into it. Get down! Oh, f*** piece of paper.
A piece of paper?
Believe it or not, the number 5 pick was the hardest to choose. Dumb and Dumber was a runners-up, but I felt Bruce Almighty deserved the place. Jim plays a television reporter who is discontented with everything in his life, despite having a wonderful girlfriend and big popularity from his viewers of his TV show. One day he lets out all of his frustrations and calls to God, complaining to him why all this is happening. God responds and is magnificently crafted into Morgan Freeman, who gives Jim the job of running the world to see if he can do any better. He's given powers in which he can do almost anything. The movie is entertaining and is definitely a good Carrie movie. I personally haven't seen the movie in quite some time, but every time I'm reminded of it, I can only think good things of it. The Mask spirals in at number 4 with its cartoon-vibed slapstick humour along with Carrie's eccentric personality, which proved to be something worthy, and it definitely was. This is a fun one. It's goofy, funny, stupid, and even a bit romantic at times. It was an incredibly enjoyable flick that was fun for kids and adults alike. The film was a lot like Looney Tunes done in real life, you know, with all the eyeball popping and ridiculously exaggerated facial expressions, etc. And it's put together so well. Carrie is the perfect actor for this role of this movie. The whole style fits his personality so well. It's like drinking a chocolate milkshake of the finest quality, but then adding some ice cream to make it even better. Weird example, but moving on. The movie boasts originality, charm, and humour in the best ways possible. Still a solid movie to this day, and one that will be remembered, unlike the dreadful sequel Son of the Mask. Ugh. Pretend that movie never happened.
Have you lied today, mate?
No, I haven't lied today.
It's my first day free.
You haven't. That calls for a celebration.
Now we are getting to the movies on this list that I've at least seen more than 10 times. Coming third, it's Liar Liar. Jim is a lawyer who lies. A lot. He also turns down his son all the time. However, his son wishes for his recent birthday for his dad to not lie for a whole day. Of course, the premise is ridiculous, but it's hilarious. Here we see Jim go through his day not telling a lie at all and getting into awkward situations with co-workers when he gets asked how he really feels about them. There are many classic scenes. Most notably for me is the scene where Carrie is in a room full of high authority figures and he ends up abusing all of them because, well, frankly, he can't stand them and he can't lie. But what makes it so funny is when everyone thinks it is a joke and Carrie manages to save the truth by causing an uproar of laughter in the main office.
Calls him a retard! And you, Tom, you're the biggest brown nose I've ever seen!
Oh, and the scene where he beats himself up to get out of a court proceeding? Brilliant. Normally I want to shun over goofy comedy movies. In all honesty, I can't stand actors like Adam Sandler in films portraying blundering idiots. However, Carrie is someone I can stand and someone I love seeing being a balls-out actor. The Cable Guy is a dark comedy where Carrie plays a lonely cable guy who just wants a friend. Carrie meets Steven, a guy who just wants his cable fixed so he can go back to watching TV after he's having connection problems. After this encounter, Carrie turns up again to hang out with Steven. They end up having some okay times, but Steven eventually gets creeped out by Carrie's introverted and freakish nature. He avoids Carrie, but that's when things turn to the worse. Watching this movie for the first time was a blast. I had no idea it was going to be the way it was. The film actually had me on edge. It could be funny, but most of the time it was very creepy and had a horror kind of vibe around it. I sometimes forget when watching this movie that it's Carrie playing this character. Sure, he's goofy, but his whole sinister approach was something I hadn't seen from him before. Hell, he looked very much different. Although this movie is one of my favourites, I can see a lot of people thinking it is garbage. It seems to have obtained a cult following over the years, and I for one have jumped on that bandwagon as this film to me was amazing.
Sit. Pull. Pull. Boy.
Speaking of my favourite movies, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is my favourite movie of all time. I have watched this over 20 times, I honestly can't get enough of it. It's ridiculous, hilarious, just everything you can love about Carrie, but with more. His character is marvellous and he's just upright hilarious throughout the entire movie. It is in my opinion Carrie's best performance in a film. I guess you could say I'm rather biased about the whole film, but oh well, I'm sure you will enjoy it / have enjoyed it. This film also contains one of the best cameo performances in a film. Legendary death metal band Cannibal Corpse are featured in a club where Carrie is thrown around in a mosh pit. Absolutely brilliant. Any metalheads will agree that when this scene came onto the screen, their jaw dropped. Who would have thought a goofy comedy would have these gore-induced titans playing a show for part of the movie? Anywho, I love this movie, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it right away.